أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Dear beloved believers, Muslims, believers, I greet all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. As always, dear believers, we ask Allah, say, Ya Allah, O Allah, Ihdina sirata mustaqim, guide us all, not just a few of us, but all of us. This is the language of the Quran. It's not a selfish language, you know. Ihdina, guide us all. Just in case there's someone in here thinking that they're the only one being guided. So we praise Allah consistently. This is a blessed hour. You understand? This is a blessed hour. According to Hadith, the one you know, and the one perhaps other people don't know it, you know it. There is a special time in the Jumah that the al-bab, the doors, al-babul Jannah, the doors of Jannah are open. And we have to be in this frame of mind, anticipating that that is the reality, because the Rasulullah ﷺ, he said that. So here we are, sitting in the Jumah, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, knowing that this time is extraordinarily special, that something is going to happen. You may not see it, I may not see it. I hope I could see some of it anyway, and you could see it, or if you see some things, share it with me. I'm just your brother. But this is a special time for us. Al-Malaika, the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is in this place, is in any masjid where the salawat, the prayers have been made throughout the day, throughout the year, and Ramadan. All those angels don't leave. You leave. You're not filling the road, but all those angels don't leave. They stay in the masjid. They live in the masjid. And by indication, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, brothers and sisters, this is our the second word in the belief system in Hadith. Second emphasis in the primer classes of Islam. Amantu billah wa malaikatihi. I believe in Allah and His angels. See, that's the second one. It's not the principles. It's the belief system in Aqidah. That we believe in Allah. We believe in Allah. But you know what? I know you're struggling. We're all struggling. But you know what? We have to keep our belief system structured in our head and in our hearts. If not, we'll put one thing before another thing. If you put the belief in the prophets, in the structure of this hadith, before you put the belief in Allah and His angels, something wrong with the structure. Think about how you are thinking about your deen. And I'm going to try to hurry this, because I know most of y'all got banks to open. I'll close. I'll go count the money and close the business, or whatever you have to do, you know. Count up the money for your employees, and make sure that everybody is paid properly, and you take the big black bag and go to the bank and deposit your money in the bank and see you Monday morning or whatever. I understand that. So the biggest business owners, they come in, in about 5 minutes. They come in, they be in about 5 minutes. But we love them all. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So, you're familiar with this verse. I love this verse. I'm going to make reference to this verse, this ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, Inni wajahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifan. أو حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. And you know who that is speaking. That's Ibrahim alayhi salam, after he had made his practical calculations of the moon, the stars, and then the sun. It's after that ayat in the 6th surah of the Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Ibrahim through a logical class 101. And after he had deducted the fact that, all right, that's not the God, this is not the God, and then he saw the Shams rise up and it went down, it set, seemingly it set. Then he said, Inni, this is his conversation, alhamdulillah, Allah revealed it to him, gave it to him. And listen, Allah gave this conversation that Ibrahim had with himself and his Lord to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave the same conversation that Ibrahim had at the time he was having it with his Lord. That same conversation comes back up in Quran. What was that? For me, this is how one of the translators translated. Inni, for me, wajahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal ardi hanifan. For me, certainly I have turned my face toward Him who created the heavens and the earth. Now we ask ourselves, who are we turning our face to? This is just a quick question. So, well, I'm doing the same thing, Imam. Well, don't feel funny. I'm not talking to you then. You turn your face to Allah, alhamdulillah. But if there's anyone in here, in this Jumah, that's turning their attention, their face to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the yellow light of caution comes in. The yellow light of caution. What does yellow light mean? Yellow light means you better get ready to stop, or something's happening. Something's beginning to happen. Not in the physical world, but in the world of your spirituality and your intellectuality. Meaning that you need to caution how you're looking at life. That something has a priority over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life. Don't let that happen. That's a no-no. And the Quran is so beautiful. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. And this is revelation coming to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But let me tell you something about the Quran. I'm trying to get all of this in. If you tend to neglect to read the Quran or recite the Quran every day before your day gets started, like the Sheikh mentioned last night, or he reminded us, we looked at a video last night, heavy, reminding us about how the Quran takes precedence over everything in our lives, because if we want to talk to Allah, we read the Quran. Allah is talking to us in the Quran. Please listen. Allah is talking to us in the Quran. You want to talk to Allah? Read the Quran. But it's something specific in my life, Imam, that I need to do it. Read the Quran. Research the Quran. And the answer is in the Quran for your and my situations, all of them. It's when we go outside of the Quran looking for answers, that's when the problem becomes, it's just one pancake, one problem. We go outside of the Quran and look for answers, two pancakes, two problems. Because you just created a problem for yourself because you went out of the boundaries that were safe. La ilaha illallah. That's the first part of the khutbah. Assalamu alaikum. والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد وآل آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So staying with this verse, this ayat, I want to remind myself and remind all of us that when we move about in the day's activities, we shouldn't be concerned too much. We should be neat and clean. Matter of fact, Allah said, come to the Quran, come to the masjid and wear your best apparel. We should be very neat and clean. Some of you are borderline today. Some of you are borderline today. Say, man, why you say? I'm just saying. Take your time. Prepare as though you're going to meet Allah. You hear me? You hear me, right? Prepare to go to prayer as though you're going to meet Allah, for in reality you are going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah is taking record. So, your intellect, your brain, it's okay, alhamdulillah. Brain is good. The mouth, brain, good. But what is your brain holding? What is your brain a house for? Information, right? Information, right? Okay. But what is the deeper self? What is the deeper self? And you already know the answer. It's your soul. You want to walk in the world with your soul illuminated, lit up. And the way that you illuminate your soul is you decorate your soul with Quran. Decorate your soul with the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Decorate your soul with the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Light up your soul, light up your nafs, and walk in the world with that. When you do it like that, and your faith is strong, very strong, your faith is strong with the Quran in you, walking and operating and taking care of your business as a man, or taking care of your business as a woman, a mother, a husband, a father, taking care of your business. When you walk in the world like that, brother, you don't have any fear of anybody in the world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't fear them, fear me. So you have a lot of Muslims that's walking in the world in fear because someone has took a broad brush and painted all of the Muslims the same color. Painted all of the Muslims with the same ideology that they make up for the Muslims. Phobology, Islamophobia. You go by Islamophobia? Is that the way you live your life? Oh, they're going to put some phobia on you. Oh, the phobia man. Nada. Halloween coming up in just a few days. Is it past or what? They going to put some phobia on you, man. They're going to try to scare you up. There's a lot I can say about that. You need to have tea and coffee with me sometime, and I'll tell you about that one. But I'm trying to get through this and be as cognitive and be as relative as I possibly can, because the Jumah prayer is a special time, as we mentioned before. So here in this ayah, إِنِّي وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَتَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. So the translator translate this as, certainly what Ibrahim is saying, I have turned myself. So when you're turning yourself to someone, this is the Imam Lugatu, the Luga, Warithuddin Luga. When you're turning towards someone, you're facing them. Right? I'm facing you. But that's not the face that Ibrahim is talking about here. He's turned his whole composition, his whole self. He's turning his soul to the one that created the sun, the moon, and the stars, that he eliminated in his mind. That he eliminated the sun, as big as it is and as bright as it is. He eliminated that. That can't be God. I tell you what, for me, إِنِّي وَجَهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَتَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. I'm giving myself to the one that created the sky and the earth. But let's look at the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used for created. What word did he use for created in this ayah? Because you know the word that most of us know, many of us are familiar with, is that Allah is Al-Khaliqu Kulli Shay'in, right? Al-Khaliqu Kulli Shay'in, that he is the creator. Khalaqa. Khalaqa is the word for he created. You know that. But here, the translator was careful to translate it also as fatara, meaning created, past tense, verb, past tense, madi, past tense, verb, frozen, meaning the action has been completed. Why did he use the translation created for this word? We know it means, fatara means original, or originated, al-fatih, originated, right? We know that. But he translated as created. But so we want to look at the difference. This is Quran. The Quran is supposed to be revealing something to us. That's the nature of the Quran. The nature of the Quran is that it's going to give you something every time you go and look at it, you read it, and you ponder and you dhikr Allah, you think about Allah, you ask Allah, Ihdina sirata mustaqim, Ihdina sirata mustaqim. You want guidance. Where is some taste of hikmah here? I'll give it to you. With the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khalaqa is indicating, I say indicating, underscore indicating, beginning of creation. The beginning of creation. Allahu al-Khaliqu kulli shay'in. Khalaqa. But here is fatara, that he is the creator of the skies and the earth. This is so beautiful. Fatara is indicating, not khalaqa, in this case, is indicating, you listening inshallah, is indicating that some other activity is taking place with Allah's creation after he creates it. So here you have fatara, which means to split, to sprout, to break, to cleave, to sprout out and then reach out for something else, like the branches of a tree, you know. So the sun, the stars, the moon, and the sun are like branches. They're splitting asunder in Allah's creation, and that's one of the reasons why the translator used created. But the uniqueness of fatara, between fatara and khalaqa, is that the creation here is in motion, and Ibrahim alayhi salam sees the creation as it has split and sprout. It has sprouted out into the cosmos. The activity is taking place, and this process repeats itself all the time. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates the creation, ثُمَّ يُعِدُّهُ Then he causes it to stop and then start another creation. ثُمَّ يُعِدُّهُ Then he repeats it again. I think you got it, don't you? We must love what Allah, first of all, we should love Allah. Love Allah. And we should love what Allah gave us. This is our gift from God. And what has happened, dear believers, is that much, not all of it, because there's some very good brothers, very good women, very good brothers, very good sisters that are staying the course of deen, staying on that course, struggling every day, struggling every day to stay on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. I know we're struggling, but doesn't it feel very good to know that you know who Allah is and you're not guessing? Doesn't it feel good to put your forehead on the carpet, on the ground, or wherever, and that you know that you're praying to He who created the skies and the earth, the heavens and the earth, and all in between, and that will be created in the future? That He is Allah, who Allah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. Now I got a question for you. Quick question. Just a few minutes. Quick question. And I don't know. I don't know if you're familiar with this, because this is in public conversation, especially in the medical industry. Do you know what your attention span is? How long can you be attentive? You know, they call it, they have a name for it, they have a term for this. And they say that the children from 5 to 10 cannot stay still for 10 minutes. Before 10 minutes is up, they got something else is going to get their attention. But you're an adult. So I'll run through this. The attention span is the amount of concentrated time that a person can spend on a task without being distracted from it. The element of distractibility occurs when the individual is uncontrollably drawn to some other activity or sensation. Most educators and psychologists agree that the ability to focus and sustain attention on a task is crucial for the achievement of one's goals. Are you hearing me? The ability to focus and a sustained amount of time on a task is crucial for the achievement of one's goal. You have people in their lives, they're jumping here and going there, jumping up from here and moving there, change from one wife to another, one wife 1 month, another wife the 3rd month, left one in Tulsa, meeting another one in Washington, D.C. Life just scattered everywhere. Is it sustained? Good, alhamdulillah. You got a sustained situation? Alhamdulillah. But we're talking about progress, not only for you, but progress for Muhammad's mission, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad's mission, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is to set up community life, community development, family life, community development, business life, sustained cultural development and appreciation of one another, sustained cultural, sustained business, stable business. How stable is your business? Attention training is said to be part, and I think it should be part. I haven't seen this in any of the grammar schools, high schools either. Attention training. Have you seen that anywhere? I haven't seen that in the class. I haven't seen Attention Training 101. Have you seen? I haven't seen Attention Training 101. Neither have I seen Thinking 101, as Imam Hatim Ahmed used to tell us, rahimahullah alayh. I never saw a class in junior high, high school, college, university, where they taught you how to think. They never taught man how to do that. They gave you a class on psychology, but before a person learns about psychology, he should learn about how to think. That never was given. Why is that? Because certain people want to keep control of the masses, you know, and they grinded it up, put it in a pill, called it emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. They put it in a pill and gave it to take 3 of these and with 1 glass of water. And you have control of your emotions. La. So this condition exists in children where they cannot control their fidgetiness. It has a term. One of you doctors know about it. Tell me after the Jumah, inshallah. Probably some of you don't know about it. But they say, and I'm about finished, but I want you to please listen, please. They say that this is genetically transmitted into the baby. And they say also that we have some adults that have this condition, that they can't focus on anything for more than 10 minutes. They got to get up and move. They got to go. Why is that? If you find yourself doing that, that particular, they call it a medical situation, and that particular medical situation is genetically transmitted from parents to the children. And it has to do with the neurons in the brain. In order for the brain to function, it has to function off of glucose, or sugar. And that sugar, if it's not being burned at the right speed by the brain, then the brain is going to malfunction and it's going to be tripping itself out like a wire up in the ceiling that may be broken, and you see the light flicker. You see the light flicker a little bit. That's because the connections are not made correctly. And that's the same thing that happens in the intellect of men and women. So test yourself. What is your attention span? If it's not a biological problem, then it is a psychological problem. And I believe that because people are not telling us this in this practical way that I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that this was intentionally done. Because if you take people away from the connection with their Lord, if you detach people away from their Lord in a whole generation, they don't know how to pray to God. They don't know the proper name for God. They don't have the right revelation, the words from God. Because as we have been taught, words make people. And if you're not made up out of correct words, your mind is going to think the wrong things. And if your mind is thinking the wrong things, you're going to make the wrong decisions in life. So the words that have been designed by Huwa al-Khaliqu kulli shay'in, that He who has created everything, the words that have been designed to fit this body and fit this mind and fit this psychology and fit this spirituality, those words are found in the Quran. So if we don't spend time with those words, then we are going to be people that are fidgety, wanting to go from one subject to the other without exhausting your study under one subject in Islam, like Salah. Do you know your Salah? That's the first thing they ask me when I, you see me, right? You know what color I am and all that. We went to another masjid, man, and I was supposed to be giving a lecture at this masjid. Yeah, they tell me, Salaam alaikum, brother, you need $2? Do you pray, brother? Do you pray? What kind of hospitality is that? From the very beginning, Jump Street, they automatically come to the conclusion that you're in need and you look like you don't know how to pray. Now, the people that invited me, they took him around the building. I don't know what they did with it, but they took him around the building somewhere. I hope it wasn't BAP, if you know what I'm saying. That was a committee we had a long time ago. But brothers, the reason why I prepare as a brother, before I'm an imam, I prepare to tell you things. And when I prepare to tell you things, then my expectation is that you at least appreciate that thing. That I'm coming from Quran, coming from the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you don't have a preconceived notion about how to see me. You cannot see me. You can see my coat, my what you call my space suit that I came here in. You can see that, but you can't see me. Neither can I see you. So don't be so quick to come to conclusions about where a man is or where a woman is, for that matter, in their mind and in their heart. Be careful. Remember that yellow light I talked about earlier. Caution. Wouldn't it be really nice? And I know it's not happening. It's not going to happen because those days are over. Wouldn't it be really nice, though, to have Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam among us? To have the Prophet of Islam among us. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best we have is the Quran itself among us. Pick up the Quran and spend time walking with the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you're walking with the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're walking with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's all I have to say. Assalamu alaikum. Stand for prayer, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.